If you're fully engrossed in the Dead by Daylight community, you watch loads of YouTube videos, Twitch streams, etc. about the game, then no doubt you're aware of the attention recently brought to the state of the game right now. Well, the situation is worse than you thought. Not in terms of balance. Right now DBD's balance is in the best state it's ever been, but on the technical side of things, the game is in an embarrassing state right now. I'm surprised it's taken this long for the attention to be drawn to it because it's been like this for years. Recently, some of the biggest and most popular DBD content creators have been expressing their frustration with the rampant hacking and cheating taking over DBD at the moment, which I'm sure comes as no surprise to any of you watching right now, as even if you don't watch streamers, cheaters and trolls are probably no rarity to your matches. Ardetha and Spooky Loops both released videos about how cheaters are ruining the game right now, with crazy cheats like flying around the map, instantly healing any player on the team, blinding killers from any angle at any range of the map, undropping pallets in a fraction of a second, or even the ability to kill their own teammates instantly. These cheats are absolutely out of control, rendering matches totally unplayable. Cheaters are even able to hold the game hostage for 2 entire hours, making it so that the endgame collapse doesn't even end the game, leaving players with 2 options. Either wait for the game to terminate after 2 hours, or quit and get a matchmaking ban which increases in duration every single time, eventually locking you out of the queue for hours at a time. As the other creators pointed out, what's even worse than the crazy over-the-top cheats are the subtle cheaters, because they make you doubt yourself. They make you question if you're just losing the plot, and when you inevitably get hammered, you end up thinking that you just played like trash. It's like psychological warfare. What really puts this game's cheating problem into perspective is this. How many other games do you play where they have such a high amount of cheaters that even someone moving the tiniest percent faster than normal sets off alarm bells? In this clip, hackers made a fake Dead by Daylight DLC pop up on my stream titled Toilet Paper and Hand Sanitizer, with a price of £3.75. These types of pop-ups occurred plenty of times during the stream, and the reason they were popping up was because I didn't have payment details saved on Steam. Just to clarify, if I did have payment details saved on Steam, hackers could have literally taken my money from within Dead by Daylight. This was during the start of the lockdown 2 years ago, and as far as I'm aware, there was no effort from Behaviour to address this. We ended up having to fix the issue ourselves by enabling Family View mode on Steam, which prevents these pop-ups as it's meant to be used as a parental control to stop kids from spending money. But once again, what if we had our details saved? It wouldn't have popped up, so the payments very well could have gone through regardless. Even aside from the cheaters, we're once again getting reports of the game leaking IP addresses, allowing other players to DDoS you at will. The same issue we had a year ago that was never addressed, and we're still vulnerable to it. Playing Dead by Daylight is literally a risk to both your IP address and your wallet. This is a sort of stuff the rest of the games industry left behind in 2012, and yet Dead by Daylight is 10 years behind the curve. Screw Bloodpoint codes. Behaviour should start giving out VPN subscription codes at this rate, because players need VPNs to play this game safely. Now, cheaters and stream snipers are in just about every single multiplayer game, and it's completely unreasonable to expect 0 cheaters. But the sheer frequency of cheaters running rampant right now are more akin to 2009's Modern Warfare 2 than any other modern title. Everything I mentioned was what was brought to the spotlight by other creators already, but Dead by Daylight's technical problems are in a much worse state than this. An issue that I would personally say is destroying the game even more than hackers right now are lag switchers. Lag switching in Dead by Daylight achieves very similar results to how it did back with old 2012 games, where the person lagging can effectively rewrite time on the server and completely override things that already happened in-game. For a Dead by Daylight example, you reach a window, you vault through no problem at all. You run away, and boom, you're down, just as if the killer hit you despite the fact you're nowhere near him anymore. That's because the killer's client told the server that he just hit you. And even though the server knows that this can't be the case as you're miles away, it doesn't care and simply accepts the data from the killer and kills you on the spot. It seems like it performs no kind of check whatsoever as to whether or not the information being accepted is feasible or not. And this lag switching isn't even restricted to killers either. Survivors can see that you're getting close to them, they activate their lag switch and run off somewhere random, meanwhile all you see on your screen is them running in a straight line. Killer goes to hit them, lag switch turns off, and boom, no hit for the killer, and PS, the survivor is the opposite side of the map now, Nurse Blink style. Now, not every case is as severe as this, and not every case is a lag switch. Some can simply be real, genuine lag from someone with bad connection. But the fact that lagging can have this huge of an effect on gameplay is a serious issue. It isn't 2012 anymore. Clients should not hold this much authority over the server. You don't see this sort of stuff happening in Overwatch, for example, and that game released 2 months before Dead by Daylight. If a client suddenly tells the server that they're on the opposite side of the map now, any other game server would simply reject that and effectively say, "No, you're not." But Dead by Daylight doesn't do that. During my streams, it's common for me to play 10 games and have more than half of them totally ruined by the enemy lagging. That is absolutely appalling in this day and age. Somewhat recently, they added a little icon during the match to show when certain players have a bad connection. And while it is nice to see definitive proof in real time that my connection isn't the issue, what use is an icon saying, "Yep, the killer's lagging," gonna serve? If you quit the match, you get a matchmaking ban, and the icons aren't in the lobby, only the actual match. The lag icons were added due to huge community demand as people were asking the devs to add connection indicators. While it's nice they listened, surely a bit of common sense could have been used here, a bit of proactive thinking. Oh, they're asking for connection indicators. Okay, we'll put them in the game. Why do you think people wanted connection indicators? So they don't have to play in laggy games. So now you do get confirmation that yes, X player is lagging, but only after you're trapped in a game with them. And as you've seen in some of this background footage, the results that lag can produce in this game is extremely close to actual cheats. It's so obvious to tell when it's a lag switch too, because they only lag when they're in a bad situation, and it only gives them the exact result that benefits them. It never puts them in danger. The main fix that has been suggested by other creators is to remove the DC penalty, so we can simply not play with cheaters and not play with lag switches, which, to its credit, is a very effective anti-cheat in itself. If cheaters find themselves being abandoned every single match due to everyone else quitting, it's going to make cheating less enticing as they effectively don't get to play if they cheat. The other thing that's been tossed about is simply improving their anti-cheat, and unfortunately that's not really feasible. Easy anti-cheat is pretty much the industry standard in terms of anti-cheat, and it's about as good as we're going to get. What I think the real issue is how much authority clients have over servers in Dead by Daylight. What that means is that the clients decide things that the server should decide. For example, subtle cheaters. Their client will tell the server, "Hey, I'm sprinting right now, and I'm actually sprinting at 102% speed." But what should happen is that the client tells the server, "Hey, I'm sprinting." And then the server responds, "Okay, sprinting is 100% speed, so off you trot at 100%. Or with lag switches, their client will tell the server, "Okay, I'm swinging my weapon now, and the survivor is within range, so they take damage." And the server receives that and proceeds to kill the survivor regardless of the fact they're nowhere near the killer. What should happen is the client tells the server, "Okay, I'm swinging my weapon." And then the server tells the client, "Well, the survivor is nowhere near you, so they don't take damage." Of course, that's super oversimplified, and any experienced devs are definitely rolling their eyes right now, but that's the general gist of it. Clients are deciding things that really should be decided by servers. Changing this to make servers dictate more would simply disable a lot of the cheats, including lag switching. In this clip, you can see that my teammate is hacking, and my own teammate can straight up insta-kill me on the hook. In what world does a survivor's client get to randomly tell the server, "Oh, this other guy's dead by the way," and the server simply accepts it with no issues whatsoever? The number one thing Dead by Daylight needs right now is for this client authority issue to be addressed. It will drastically improve the lag switching situation, greatly limit the extremity of the cheats, and make the game much less frustrating to play even with just normal bad connection. While once upon a time I was one of the people advocating for DC penalties to be added into the game, mainly due to the sheer amount of rage quits on first hook, time has shown that I was clearly in the wrong. DC penalties are causing far more damage to the game than rage quitting ever could. Of course, these changes aren't going to be simple for the devs. It's certainly not the sort of thing that can be done in one afternoon, and I imagine it will require overhauling thousands and thousands of lines of code. But at the end of the day, they're selling a product and cheaters are ruining said product, so they have to put this work in to address it. If the previously mentioned client authority issue isn't addressed, DC penalties should be removed as the absolute bare minimum effort from behaviour. This is something that could be done in one afternoon, as they've done it plenty of times before, except this time it needs to be permanent. Even outside of cheaters, I think the ability to leave games would probably help with player retention. I know for a fact that I would play the game longer if I had an option to simply not be stuck in a game with my 25th blind of the day. Normally at this point in the video I'd say things needed to change and then cover the changes that happened, because well, that's the point we're at in the video. The point where things need to change. But right now that change isn't happening, and we need to call on behaviour to bring that change because we desperately need it. I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you so much for sticking to the end. If you have any other things that you'd like me to discuss in a similar style to this, please let me know. You can catch me live on twitch.tv/Ardetha every week Monday to Thursday.